All right, good morning. Look at what we have here. Input temperature 117 degrees. Water heater. Oh, that was stupid. Yikes. We've got hot water. Hot water works everywhere. Hot water there. Take a hot shower in here tonight if we want. And our vanity. Ooh, that's hot. Very nice. Okay. And here's where my main propane hookup is. And right there is my propane alarm. No red light means a good thing. And this here's a stove. So you stick the knob to light. And then you click this thing. Booyah! Booyah! Oh, don't want to start the oven. And booyah! 3-burner stove. Now, get that fan blowing. Now the only thing I'm not sure about is the refrigerator. I've got it on LP. And I'm waiting for that number to drop. It was at 40, I don't remember what the hell it was at. Let's see, 18 and 57. We're at 60. And we're at 26 in the freezer. So it's getting warmer, but I don't know. Let's see what happens. So the only thing that's left to hook up is the furnace, which I'm not even concerned about right now. Got my stove working, microwave, and the refrigerator is hooked up. We just have to yeah, I don't think the refrigerator is running on LP right now. I may have to turn it off and then turn it back on and see what that does. So let me do that real quick and I'll be back. Okay, as you can see, I've shut the power off, the batteries and the shore power. I've got no power whatsoever, nothing works. Okay, everything is completely shut down. Alright, so what I wanted to show you was the propane alarm is still functioning even though the power is off, and that's because the panel that I installed in the utility room is not switched. It's direct to the battery. So as long as there's battery power, it will operate this propane on. Okay, so that's a good thing. All right. I'm gonna wait a few minutes before I turn the power back on because I want to see if that solves my refrigerator issue. As you can see, let's see, we're at 61 degrees and the freezer is at 28 degrees. Okay, so 61 and 28. I'm going to write those two numbers down. 61 and 28. Okay. Since I've switched over to the propane, it went from 952 to 857 to 2861. Which tells me that the propane is probably not working on the refrigerator right now, so I have to figure that out. So now I'm going to turn the propane back on. And by the way, this is a dual tank regulator. So basically what it does is you open both tanks and it will pull from one, and then when that one's empty it'll pull from the other one, and then when you want to switch the empty one, you change this, you point this knob to the one that's either being changed or is full, and then you change out the other one and then put your dial back in the middle. That's so on a freezing night you don't have to come out and switch propane bottles if you have two of them. All right, I'm going to turn on my batteries. Okay, see, they're on because my light came on. And I'm gonna leave the shore power off for a hot minute, just to make sure that the see if the propane kicks in on the refrigerator. Now, I don't know if the propane will cool better or worse than the electricity, but it certainly should. Okay. Now it says that it's on LP and it's at 60 degrees. Okay. So we'll watch that number. If it goes to 61 or 62, that means that it's getting warmer, not cooler. It doesn't sound like it's running. I mean, the light comes on because it's still hooked up to the 12 volt. All right, we'll let that run for a while and we'll come back and check it. Okay. I got my refrigerator running on propane, and I wasn't sure if it was running or not. Just like with anything else, I mean, I hooked up the propane and I've had it running all day. Had one little leak, but you can see you can see it or not. It's really super hard to see. You see that glow back in there? That's the pilot light. Okay, so it's cooking good. Now, let's see if we can see it better now. Yeah, there it is. All right, cool. All right, I started to say, I have this bubble stuff that you put on that indicates if there's a leak. And get my little screwdriver out. You see my little gas detector over there? It's doing good. When I had that little leak earlier, it did go off, and I had forgotten to put some pipe dope around one of the fittings. I've got let me try. Okay, so here's my 3/4 inch pipe coming in. That's my main. That's coming from the tanks, front of the trailer. And then there's this special CSST bushing, which is how you connect it to other types of pipe. So I had to get a 3/4 inch to 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch to 1/2 inch reducer, and then these connect right in line. It's all beautiful. And then I've got this this 4-port manifold. Okay, it's actually 5-port, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm not using 2 of them. This is the hot water. This is the furnace. This is the stove and the refrigerator. And it's the stove and the refrigerator because you can't see back there, but behind the stove I've got a T that goes to the stove and then goes out to the to the refrigerator. Okay. So we are ready to go camping. And when you turn the hot water on, it lets you know that the hot water tank is running. You got water running, and the fan is on in the unit itself. Okay. It's pretty cool. I gotta tell you, man, this hot water, I mean, woo, that's hot. That's gonna be a nice shower. I can't wait. Let me turn this thing around. The shower's all sealed up. All caulked up. Still got to do across the bottom there where it meets the floor. I'm going to use some clear down there. I just didn't feel like opening up another thing right in the moment. So it's a nice cool day. So I sort of kind of did a mock-up of my of where my propane tanks are going to go. They're just sitting there right now. I've got a mount for my 40 pounders, and they're a little bit taller than these barbecue size 20 pounders, so I had to get a longer supply line, which I still have to connect to or attach to the trailer once I figure out my propane situation. And so these are just temporary right now. All right, so let me think. Today we hooked up the appliances to propane. We got the stove, the refrigerator, and the hot water going. I didn't bother with the furnace yet. I mean, it is the middle of beginning of summer, so we're good. I've got plenty of time to get that going. So yeah, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about it. Now, I've got the fridge on what they call automatic, but I am going to shut the propane off. I'm going to go back to auto, and auto, because I'm going to go shut the propane off. And the reason I'm going to shut the propane off is I'm getting ready to go to bed, and you know, I do a great job with most things, but I'm not going to leave my trailer overnight unattended with the propane on. That's a smart thing to do. I'll turn it back on tomorrow and test everything out, but I'll be here, so I don't have to to worry about anything. If the alarm goes off, I can go shut the stuff off. And what I'm getting into a habit of doing is purging my propane lines, just like I do my water lines when I'm traveling. So this is something I'll be doing all the time. Turn the fan on. I usually leave the fan running at night. Keep some air running in here. So I've shut the propane off. This is just burning off what's left in the lines. You can see it getting fainter and fainter. And there you have it. It's gone. Okay, so shut that off. And refrigerator's running back. That's pretty good. I feel pretty good about today. That was a big task getting all of the appliances functioning. All right, let me shut this video down. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. When I shut the power off earlier, what it does, because the switches are in the on position, but after the second on off cycle, it goes into, see that purple light, it goes into motion sensor mode. But when you turn the power off and back on, it's just like turning it off and turning it back on, but the switch requires you to do both. Turn it off, turn it back on, turn it off, turn it back on, then it goes into that mode.